myself and James. James is not in the house, but in the backyard. What's going on, Jimmy?
What's up, Joe?
Nah, it's nothing, man. It's nothing. I was just trying to catch up with you, find out what's going on. I hope you don't, like lag out too much while you're walking around. But that looks like a beautiful view to me. What do you got there? A villa?
Oh, it's a bike garage. It's a bicycle garage. I got three kids staying with me, so I got my my bike gang here.
There you go, man. The motorbike gang.
All girls.
Terrors of elementary, terrors of middle school.
Yeah, yeah. I teach them to ride without helmets and you know be badasses. What I do.
Well, I'm glad you got all the equipment laid out, the tools, keep them greased up, keep them rolling.
Just
The
kidding.
night,
I put helmets on them, but when I think you know, I let them slack a little, because I'm from the '80s,
right,
When-
right, right. These are not big wheel one percenters. These are actually these kids actually abide by the rules of today. Be nice to each other. Um, Winnie the Pooh is your friend. All that kind of stuff.
Whoa. Okay, so what I was gonna do is just show you a couple things in my studio. So this is where it might get choppy. Sorry, I'm gonna walk up to the studio. Sorry.
Hey, don't be sorry for a thing, man. Take your time. Show us the surroundings. Take your time. If you walk slower, it'll chop less too. So just be smooth.
So this, are you still there? Good.
Absolutely, man. I just checked in with them with a couple of spleef hits just to give them the peace because they're cycling through. Please click like everybody on the way in if you like it, on the way out if you do not. We got our special guest James here because this is Jimmy Cross bandcamp.com, but he's going to go ahead and just give us a few while he has. Look, man, he worked today, as he said yesterday. Unfortunately, on the holiday, he has to work tomorrow. He only has a few hours, but he wanted to show me some of the stuff that's comprising his new studio, and I thought, why don't we just share it with you all? So, thank you very much for your patronage, attendance. Click like on the way in if you like it, on the way out if you do not. Big up Jimmy Cross. Jimmy Cross music is a topic on YouTube, but jimmycross.bandcamp.com is where to see it all. And he's just sharing with us today, guys. Just appreciate it. It's a visit.
Yeah, so a couple of my friends wanted to just see what my studio is like. Where does all this recording stuff come from that I've been doing? So I'm just gonna give you a little tour right here. All right, so it's
Right
just
on, man. And the last time we were there, we were just relegated to a garage. You didn't have like sort of your monitor room. So all these upgrades I have not seen yet, people. That's just full disclosure. That's just the way it is.
so. Should I do this selfie type thing? Here we go. So walking into the room, I have the drum set up because I've been doing drum tracks. We have all the instruments hung up. We have I don't play that fiddle. That's just for fun. There are a couple ukuleles. I definitely play Spanish guitar there. This is the Earl Scruggs banjo, my first banjo that I ever owned. I bought
Is
this.
that retired at this point, or do you still? Oh, well, you
Yes,
couldn't do it with the signatures on it. You can't plug on it anymore.
still keep it tuned and ready to play. but it's Earl himself signed it, and it's pretty much retired. It's got a saw blade in it, an old trick where you can put a saw blade in the banjo. It's in there. You can. It's
For reverberation, right? I mean, obviously.
Yeah, the simulated tone ring because it's a cheap piece of crap China banjo, But that was my first banjo, and he signed it, and I actually did some work on the headstock. I made that all myself. It's a cheesy inlay. It's just made out of paint. But
Man, I still have, sir, I still have a banjo neck that I got, from a real shit neighborhood. They picked all the inlay out, mother of pearl, I guess. Who cares? But they picked it out and just dumped it in the corner. So I will give that to you, Jimmy. You can fill up that inlay with anything you choose. I mean, I just have to bring that up right now. It's on hand over here. I thought maybe somebody would make a nice cigar banjo because Evan makes his own, luthier instruments. Evan is into that shit and he shares it with his kids, with Bella and all that. And like that's so cool, right? So the future, I did not want it to go to waste, but it was a serious junkie business thing. And it's like, I don't know how to sell mother of pearl. Is that per the pound? Nah. So your keys there are actually the bones of sinners that went through the ringer, and that's how those keys are set up right there on that
under
laptop, right?
yeah, this is the Underwood. All right, so this was what I wrote a lot of my stuff on, everything, like the stories you've read, like, so I did write a few novellas here and there, that. And then we have the old Fender piece of crap, that went through hell and probably was in many places where you were. We
Well,
have the
sure, but a lot of people are like, "Hey, why don't you bring it out to the fire pit?" And you're like, "Cause it's gonna rain, cause it's gonna warp, cause it's gonna this, cause it's not a Yamaha, cause it's not a Gibson, cause it's not cheap enough or good enough. It's a Fender. So what are we gonna do? It's not an ESP. It's not a fucking Martin because I'll take that into the humidor."
this banjolele is actually a very nice piece here, vintage. I put these pegs in it that I took out of something somebody threw away when I was working at Music and Arts, and I sealed this laminate back on there. I made this very nice, and
So is a banjolele, it's still a four string like a ukulele, right?
yeah,
Are
it's
those things like an A? I mean, how are they tuned when you play them sort of in the EADG form of like a standard baritone guitar? Like, what are they tuned to? Like an ADG?
it's. My dog has fleas. It's EC.
Even
What?
Garfield buys dog food.
I don't know. You're putting me on the spot. I'm not gonna remember it right now.
No,
Even
I was just wondering if if you open chord it, is it like AC or is it like CF? I don't know where it starts. I don't know how sharp that instrument is, but it obviously is quite sharp. You know what I mean? But it's only got four strings. It's not the EADG that I do in bass. You know what I mean? So is it upside down? Because
oh,
the violin is upside down and
it's
reversed. It's higher to lower, lower to higher, reversed from the basso profondo I'm used to playing.
G C. Why can't I think about it? I don't know why.
It's not important. Anybody in the world here could look up one graphic on YouTube. I'm sorry, one graphic on
No,
Google Images.
I
Give
don't.
me the map of the uke.
I,
Give me the map of the uke.
I'm not.
We can also play a little bit of Don Ho,
I'm not.
Tiny Bubble.
I'm not stupid. I know what you're trying to get me to do, Joe. You're trying to get me to play some ukulele. That's what you're trying to do.
Man, what
Okay.
do they usually do on the ukulele? I'm trying to think of
Anyway,
that. Because of course, I'm way into Tiny Tim, but I don't consider him that. I consider him an archivist. He's like, in 1902, Mr. Brown did such song. Bring dang 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 dong dong dong. And it's like, mm, yo, hey,
yeah.
my phone is restarting. I have no choice.
Okay. So I'm giving you a little tour here. This is my mixer that I use when I do the drums and other. It's basically a piece of crap that you buy from China for nothing. And this is my rolling thing that I do everything through. And then I use this stupid little mic stand. And I have cords. And I have them streaming from the ceiling fan down here for mics for the drums. And I have drum mics here and drum mics there. And I have a B52 in the bass drum, and that's the main thing. And you see my other stuff I got here. There's the Magic Fisher Price Dobro right there. That's the one that does all the magic. Cost me $100.